So, I want to talk about some of the music styles in Super Mario Galaxy, how they're used, how well they work with some of the game's themes, and what makes them so special. Mario Galaxy is, of course, a 2007 Nintendo game released for the Wii that would become one of the console's top selling games. According to Nintendo's website, it sold over 12 million copies. The game is divided into several galaxies, the term not referring to full scale cosmic galaxies, but rather used in an idiosyncratic way to describe the various courses the game possesses, ranging from collections of small planets in space to a giant rocket battleship dreadnought thing to a haunted mansion to a flying collection of dessert to many, many other varied world designs.
Now, of these, the first true galaxy you visit is called Good Egg Galaxy. I love Good Egg Galaxy a lot, but it's not the start of the game. The game opens with the celebration of the Star Festival in the Mushroom Kingdom. The music here is light and cheery, reflecting the vibe of a town square decked up for a festival. This track, appropriately named Star Festival, uses a combination of flutes and higher pitched string instruments. This is then ruined when Bowser attacks, kidnaps the princess, the music now replaced by a beating drum and brass horns.
Oh. Oh. Yeah.
This is when the game truly begins. Mario blasted off into space and waking up on a small planet, and then being persuaded to play a game of tag with some buddies. This is the main planet of the Gateway Galaxy course, whose soundtrack to the Gateway is an ethereal pair of keyboards and what sounds like a xylophone. This track is quietly soothing, but underscores the emptiness of the small planet. Only you and these three star bunnies inhabit it. This is a tie-in to one of the two main narrative themes the game has, the vastness of space and the associated loneliness. You're alone here on a tiny planetoid suspended in the void with no idea how you're going to get home. This is immediately contrasted by the theme that plays once Mario is commissioned to retrieve the Power Stars. A new track, Enter the Galaxy, plays, and it is a fast-paced piece made up mostly of string instruments with some flute accompaniment. Its quick tempo sets the tone. Mario's adventure has begun, and you're already in the thick of it. While space is vast, and therefore lonely, that vastness means there's a lot of exciting things you can do in space. And that's the other main theme of the game, that as empty as space is, as big as space is, all of that, space in space allows there to be a lot of things you can do in space, and that's what the game wants you to understand, that you can do so much out in space in this game. Once this first mission is complete, you unlock the first dome of the Comet Observatory and can begin proceeding to the proper galaxies of the game, the first of which is, again, Good Egg Galaxy. Good Egg Galaxy's theme is named Egg Planet, an incredible orchestral piece that also works to emphasize how full of life and things to do this game is. Some sections, especially the portions with the flutes, have a cozy feeling with them, designed to make you feel happier and at ease despite the scale of your adventure, which I'd argue reflects how innocent the game still feels at this very early stage. But if you listen, you can hear the string movements, which are very strong and convey the true epicness of what this Mario title holds. Good Egg Galaxy has several other themes that play at certain points within it, more on those in a bit, but its main theme remains Egg Planet. This is the first of what I would describe as the game's many epic themes that reinforce the awe-inspiring scale of the cosmos and the grandness of the adventure that Mario is going on. This can be seen with the theme to the Battle Rock Galaxy, which is a string of drums arrangement, the horn-dominated music that plays during the missions in Melting Molten Galaxy, and, of course, the iconic soundtrack for Gusty Garden Galaxy with a mixture of string instruments and light percussion and a guitar that I'm really just going to let speak for itself. This track right here is an excellent example of what I mean when I say one of the two overarching narrative themes of the game is the sense of how the universe's vastness can be amazing and full of life. This energetic piece of music, with an especially strong string section, feels so vibrant and is perfectly placed in a verdantly green, full of life setting in Gusty Garden Galaxy, but I would argue it represents the game as a whole about as much as Good Egg Galaxy's Egg Planet does. Buoy Bass is another example of epic orchestration in Mario Galaxy. Its soundtrack is a mixture of electronic keyboards, strings, brass instruments, and an underlying percussion beat. The resulting piece of music combines the epicness of this impressive spaceborne fortress with the martial vibe of the consistent beat, and makes both so incredibly over the top that they fit the absurd design of this tower that comes from it being within the cartoonish world of a Mario game. However, this is not the only dedicated soundtrack piece Buoy Bass possesses. It also has an underwater theme for when the player takes Mario down beneath the surface to progress the level. The music being played is not different, but it is altered. The number of keyboards is reduced, the percussion practically disappears, and the brass is replaced by a church organ. The player still hears the same melody and the same rhythm, but the instrumentation is softer and the pitch is lower. The effect is that it sounds like water is muffling the sound of the background music, which is ingeniously accomplished through this instrumentation change rather than digitally editing the already existing theme. You can see this replicated with the sound design for the beach planets, such as Beach Bowl Galaxy and Sea Slide Galaxy. When above water, you hear this brass arrangement with some steel drums. But when below water, you hear this same melody, but with an electric keyboard arrangement that has, again, a steel drum that works to give the impression that the sound is muffled. Space Junk Galaxy sits on the opposite end of the spectrum from something like Bowie Base or Gusty Garden. It has a few keyboards playing a slow melody that gives this definite feel of ambient cosmic solitude, perfect for this galaxy in the middle of nowhere in deep space that's just a bunch of rocks and debris with one or two small planets and some spiders. It drives home the true vastness of space and the loneliness you feel being so far off in the void, but even then, you're not quite alone. Here you encounter, for not the first time, a group known as the Toad Brigade, whose theme is this childish whistle, sort of, that has the beat and timing of a martial mark, but due to its instrumentation of whistles and recorders, you get the sense that their attempt to be a serious outfit is undermined by their comical inability to actually do so, which is of course reflected in what you see of them in the game. Similar in tone to the childishness of the Toads theme is this track called Blue Sky Athletic. It is a rearrangement of the older Athletic theme from Super Mario Bros. 3, but updated a little. It conveys this sense of wackiness, which works well for its placement in this sweet, sweet galaxy and a few other places. Now, some tracks are not used to indicate the specific aesthetics of a location or a moment, but rather simply mark a division between the rest of play and a specific place. Take these examples, all instances of the music changes in Good Egg Galaxy I mentioned above. The track Interlude has a name that reflects its usage here in Good Egg Galaxy, a quiet moment between the preceding level and the boss fight with Dino Piranha that comes once you break the egg. It's used in other interruption moments, such as the quiet parts on the beaches of the Deep Dark Galaxy or at the beginning of the Ghostly Galaxy's course. Space Fantasy is a unique piece that has a composition almost reminiscent of the MIDI format. Its usage here in Good Egg Galaxy, for example, is when you land on the Pill Planet. It tells you that while you're still in the same galaxy, you're still in Good Egg Galaxy, you're in a newer and a stranger environment. It marks the transition from the rest of the galaxy to this new place, this weirder place. It's used a couple of other times, such as the background track for the Bubble Breeze Galaxy, but this is its first usage, and I think it's best well done, in my opinion. Now, the final track I'd like to talk about here is called Tension. Its usage, as you can see here in Good Egg Galaxy, is to indicate approaching danger. You have landed on this enemy fleet, and you're approaching the boss of this level, King Caliente, and the strong brass horns of of tension convey this sense of anxiety and dread. Some soundtrack pieces in Super Mario Galaxy are adaptive music tracks that go faster or slower depending on player action. For example, the theme that accompanies the Starball mechanic sees its tempo changed based on how fast the player rolls the ball. Several boss themes do this as well, changing to a faster version once the boss is weakened and fighting harder. For example, the boss Megaleg sees its theme sped up from the initial version to this faster paced once you reach the initial wall and almost retrieve the star. The increased tempo reflecting the greater urgency as Megaleg's security systems fight back even harder. I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I'm pretty proud of it. I put a lot of work into it. I just wanted to talk for a little while about the various ways in which Mario Galaxy uses its very excellent soundtrack very effectively, and I'm pretty proud of this, so I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you.